Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy second recording on this Monday. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I got a word for you. Tap in. Guys, really quickly, this should be a fairly quick recording. I have a pretty pressing day, but I was reading through a few emails as I was sitting still, and this email just broke my heart. I'm not going to read the emails in its entirety because it's a very long email, which I love long emails, but I'm pressed for time today. So to summarize, this person is in a season of drought, a season of lack, just that dry season where you're taking those hits back to back. Things are being snatched, money, jobs, cars, houses, everything's getting repossessed, and then you get knocked with, you might have some type of tragedy in the family. Like she's there. So in the email, she was just saying that she loves the fact that I'm always upbeat and I'm always positive, and that's what she's seeking. So she's waiting on God to open that door to say, hey, okay, you've been in this season of lack or drought or whatever for the last 3 years. She wants to know when that time is coming, because it seems like God is making her promises, but she's seeing that everybody around her, even some of the people closest to her, are the people who are getting the blessings, the very same blessings that she's been praying for. So it's like, boom, okay, I've asked for a new house, and now I'm living with a friend because I have nowhere to go. And here, my cousin who is 20 years younger than me just got a brand new house, and here I'm 50, and that type of stuff. So she asked me, have I ever been through a season of drought? And I've actually spoke about this before, but of course, everybody don't listen to every recording. And I just want to say a few words to this, because her spirit is really broken. So if any of you have ever experienced that really, really rough season, and it seemed like that season was never coming to a head, but you stuck it out and you trusted, and finally you got your breakthrough, if you see fit, please share some words of encouragement with her in the comment section, because she said she will definitely be reading it, is what she said. Okay, so sis, here's the thing. I don't know anybody personally, nor myself, who've ever reached a season of abundance or seasons of overflow without at some point going through a season of drought. Okay, for me, my season of drought was maybe 2012 through 2015, 2016. Yes, so that's several years, not month, but years. So what happens is, and this is why I also tell a lot of people too, you don't really hear a lot of people talking about their seasons of drought, or when they got, at least not a lot of people. I know most of you here are here again because of Pastor Blake's. He talked many times about the time when, Hurricane Katrina, like he lost everything and had to start over, and he literally felt his own mind slipping, right? So listen, those seasons of drought will literally have your mind slipping from under your feet if you're not careful. Because it's almost like everywhere you turn, there's something, right? It's one thing if money is good, but I don't know, your house burned down. Okay, you can go get another house. It's one thing if your marriage is solid, but your kids are there's a balance, right? You're going through it, but there's a balance. But what happens when everything is taken? The marriage, the house, the car repossessed, the kids ain't talking to you because they're crazy, your husband left you for somebody else, you ain't got no money because you lost your job, you feel like you got to go live with other people, you're living with other people, and they don't even feel like they want you there after. Now you got to go to a house where you don't feel like you're welcome. All that stuff in one season. Then you get hit with a tragedy. All that stuff in one season. Those seasons like that. And this is why I pulled over to make this. I was going to make this recording when I got home, and God said, no, make this recording now, because as I read through your email, I felt your spirit. You are broken. But let me tell you something, honey. Do not give up. This is the time. Satan will literally target you and try to isolate you. He will make you think that no one wants to hear your problems. He will make you think that, in fact, the people that you normally probably call to kind of get some, positive words for, these people may be too busy. Satan will find a way to isolate you. He wants to keep you in that dark room with those blinds closed just to replay these things in your head, hoping that you will become so hopeless. Don't give up, sis. A lot of people miss it right here. A lot of people turn back here because it's so hard to press forward. It's so hard. These kind of seasons like this to have you, it's almost like you're not even spiritually tapped in. You're so weak and so broken that it's almost like you can't even hear from God. This is why, too, it's important to have those praying people, like those friends who really know you. Because I don't have a lot of friends, right? I'm not that girl. But the few I have, they're like solid chicks, right? So they know when even if you don't say you're going through something, God then showed them. So they're praying for you behind the scenes. Then they're checking on you constantly. You're not going to feel like talking to anybody, sis, but answer that phone. Because the words that God is going to use people to give you is going to fill your spirit up. Even if it's just for a day, it's going to fill your spirit up. Start listening to whatever fulfills your spirit. Fills your spirit. Let it be gospel music. Let it be certain recordings, reading your word, nature, whatever fulfills your spirit. You're not going to feel like it, but you have to press to it. Many times, I like to call these seasons too, seasons of stripping. And truth of the matter is, if now that I'm so far beyond that, right, and not, listen, seasons rotate, let me just tell you, because you can be up today and down tomorrow. That's the great thing, the great news for you. Right? Not so great for somebody who's in an overflow right now, because these things rotate. Think about, sis, the time that you did have that home you love and everything in the marriage was perfect and everything was so great. Do you know that the same person who Satan is like putting in your face now and trying to have you idolizing people, those people may have been in a very down season when you were up. So here you were having the season of overflow and abundance. And hey, they were having the season of drought and lack. You may have not known about it, but seasons rotates. So know that your season is coming, but your season will never come if you give up. You gotta press through. You can't even wait till you feel better to press through. You gotta walk while you're dropping at the same time. Drop and walk. Drop and walk. Get back up. Drop and walk. You got to literally press through from both angles. And this is going to be the hardest thing. From both angles, you're going to feel like you're alone. You're going to feel like you can't hear from God. You can't hear from people. Satan is trying to snatch your mind. It's that point of, if one more thing happens, one more thing happens, it's going to send me over the edge. That's how deep that season can get. So, this is going to be longer than I thought, but it's fine. It's fine. I lost my train of thought. Oh, as I was saying earlier, that you don't hear a lot of people talking about their seasons of droughts. Again, I think it's so important for people to speak about it, especially like if they have any type of platform, because it's your testimony will then give others that confidence to know, like, wow, okay, so you've been through that too. So okay, so then just me. I'm going through this right now, but I'm coming up out of this thing too. Must be because you did, right? Your testimony is so important. A great friend of mine, he's really like, we're like besties. Like, I love him so much. We've been friends for a very long time. So at some point in his life, he had got divorced. He waited. He said he was in a very, very miserable marriage, but he's older. mature guy. I think he's like in his early 60s, something. Don't look a day past 40, but like in his early 60s, something like that. And he was just saying that, of course, back in those days, you just stayed because. So he literally waited until his last child. I think he had 5. He waited until his last child was off to college, and then he decided to just walk out. He said he left everything. He left the house, he left the car. Even though the children were grown, he just wanted freedom. He wanted peace, because he said he had been, they both were miserable, but he just wanted to he felt like, okay, God, if I only have 20 years left here on earth, can I please get to enjoy 20 years? Because the last 40 was just hell, right? Even in childhood. And so when he left, this man was successful. But he left everything. He said he didn't take a dime out the bank, right? He just wanted to be free. He started sleeping under bridges. A successful man, leave everything, start sleeping under bridges. Not like that, the traditional homeless looking person. I don't even know if that's a word, traditional homeless, whatever. But you would never know it. He would wash up in the bathroom at work or whatever, but it was not enough money to supply him a house. But now, fast forward, he's very successful again. He just had a birthday. I think he just turned, very successful again. And so I challenge him all the time, because when we sit down and like we have these conversations, I'm like, do you know how many people can't? But what he was telling me, he don't like to speak about it because it puts him back in that moment of the things he experienced when he was homeless. So it bothers him. And I was like, I get it. I do. I promise you I get it. But God don't care about our emotions. God doesn't care about our emotions. However, if God gives you the nudge, if this is something, he's like, oh, Kizzy, God give me the nudge all the time. Well, you better start opening your mouth, sir. You better stop helping people out here now. Let people know. You can go from broke to successful from successful to broke and back to successful. These seasons changes. They do. But you don't hear a lot of people talking about those down seasons. Now, I must be honest to say this. And I didn't figure this out until after the fact. See, when you're in those storms like that, when you're in the eye of the storm, you can't see. You're blind. You can't hear. You're deaf. You are literally just in survival mode 24 hours trying to get through whatever you're getting through. And getting kicked in your head all along. Like, it's crazy. But it's not until that storm stops raging, and you know what's crazy? It will boom. It'll happen all of a sudden. You don't even start to see, like, okay, I'm starting to come out of the storm. Okay, it's just raining versus storming. Okay, now it's drizzling versus raining. Now it's just overcast. No. You go from straight no edges to boom, release. This is why preparation is so key. Now, of course, Satan's going to keep you in your face because he don't want you to really hear what God is saying. So you're going to hit a moment where you're just completely blind and you're completely deaf. But then soon things will start to, it's not that it will get a lot better, but better enough for you to really start to hear your downloads. And then what you will discover is what we consider to be storms at times are truly not storms. It's God stripping us to prepare us for destiny. So in the storm, you feel like, oh my God, this is punishment. What have I done, Lord? I lost my house. I lost my car. Half of that stuff have you in bondage. Half of that stuff have you in bondage. Don't even like the house no more. You only got it because you got the hookup, and then the hookup was grimy, and now you want God to bless that foolishness, and that's why you don't feel no peace in that house. The car note, you're paying $900 a month on the Benz, and you're upside down in it. Bondage. You're in a marriage that you know good and well you ain't supposed to get into, but your mama said she wanted some grandbabies. Your homegirl got married and you're the single one. So I'm gonna take the first thing, smoking. Bondage. You're on a job who's working you like a dog, paying you like bondage. You got family members who you love, but they all crazy and they're all pulling from you and they're full of toxic stuff. Bondage. Bondage. But we don't know it's bondage because we're in survivor mode. So God starts snatching. Starts with the people. Why the people? For different reasons. Because you're with the wrong people anyway. Sometimes the people are training wheels. For me, that definitely was it for me. The training wheels. Calling people out. What do you think God think of? What God say about this? What do you think God say about that? Training wheels. Right? So you're snatching people. Because some of these people are your training wheels. Some of these people you're not supposed to even be with anyway. Some of these people are literally plotting to try to take you out here. You can't even see it. So God is removing them to help you. God is snatching people, again, to prep you and show you the areas that you need to heal. Show you the areas of your heart. All this stuff he will show you. Okay. Why did he snatch the house? Like I said, it could have been bondage. It could have been somebody had planned to rob that thing a year later and you might have been up in there. Who knows? Snatched your car. Why? The car got you upside down in payments. You could never pay it off. Right? Probably got the car title loan on it. Bondage. But God know you can never release it because you got to still take your kids to school. You got to still get back and forth to work. I can't get another car. My credit done got bad. So he snatches it. But we think, oh my God, it's a storm. It's an attack. Why am I being so attacked, God? Why am I being punished? It truly feels like punishment. It feels like condemnation versus revelation. And all along, he's removing these things. You got a job that you hate, but you're in bondage because you got to pay for the car that got you upside down. You got to pay for the house you don't even like no more. Roof leaking, but you can't even call nobody to fix it because you ain't got no money. All that. So dramatic. All that stuff. So he's going to snatch the job to give you a business. He's going to snatch the job to push you towards purpose. He's going to snatch all the toxic people so he can bring healthy people who can help you in this journey of healing. He's going to snatch all the people that you don't even know side-eye anyway and planting all kind of foolishness up in your house when they get there, but you love them. That's my homegirl. Your homegirl when your man. Play with it. Play with it. You know, speaking of that, there was this video on TikTok like 2 months ago. I actually meant to make a recording. This is so off track right now, but someone, I think it may have been actually a public figure, who had said that she will not bring a woman in her house. She doesn't care if it's her sister, her cousin, or whatever, if she's married. Instead, she will put her in a hotel. And so many people were like dragging her. Now, granted, you got your weirdos like me who are just like a different breed, who was like, girl, listen, you're not coming up in my house. And let me tell you, I don't even like have a lot of people in my personal life. Like my best friend, we were best friends for since we were 12. Listen, we loved each other heart and soul. You're not coming to sleep up in my house with my man. And then people will say, things like, well, that's insecurity. What they're going to do, listen, you can call it insecurity. I call it flesh. Period. If we know no one is perfect, right? We all can agree here. No one is perfect. Then why are you creating space for human error? Yes, you're right. If people going to creep, if people going to cheat, they're going to do it anyway, but you ain't going to do it on my watch. Because when I get to walk, I'm going to walk with a peace of mind after I done both of y'all. But I'm going to have a peace of mind knowing that I didn't open this door that had this thing right up under my nose. Period. It ain't got nothing to do with no lack of self-esteem or nothing. No. Think about it. You are friends with people for a reason. Okay? You got how many people in the world? I don't know. Zillions. You're friends with people for a reason. You're friends with this person because you have the same characteristics. Like you're friends. You connect. So if your spouse saw something in you, why wouldn't it even be? But instead, what happened is they'll make you think everything worse about that friend. Or she's this, and that, and the whole 9 yards. You're checking for him. Now, let's be clear. That's definitely not every man, right? I'm talking about the trifling side of men. Not every man here. But the point I'm making is, no. I'll put you up in the hotel for a month, whatever you need, boo. You got put out. I got you. But you're not about to be walking around up in my house when I'm at work. Girl, no. I love you and I trust you. But I do know you don't play with the flesh. Period. So that's another side. I don't even know how I got that. How did I get there? Do one of you guys got a homegirl living up in your house right now with your man? I'm not saying put her out. I'm just asking. But back to my topic here. So sis, once that door opened, which literally, from a dry season, it literally just opened. It was mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing to me how every single thing in that season of drought made sense. It's like you see things retro, whatever the word is, when you see things like that, backwards or whatever, retroactive, I don't know what the word is. It was like, God, I was kicking, fighting, and screaming, not wanting to submit all this time. Because I felt like you was taking something from me. And you was doing it all because you wanted to bless me. Because I deserve it. But God, why'd you let me do this for years? Why can I get this revelation in months? Because we're the fool ones. We're fighting something. And the longer we fight it, we're just going to prolong that storm. So this is why I always tell people, if you want to shorten your storm, I mean, only God knows how long that storm will rage. But if you want to shorten your storm, stop fighting that process. If God is requiring you to remove a person, I don't care how much you love him or her. If God is requiring it, let your heart break one time. As Pastor would say, let your heart break one time. Because when you leave and you keep going back, and they're going to want you even more. They're going to want, because they're going to feel you're pulling away from them. They're going to want you even more. That pressure's going to be on you. Listen, if God is removing them, he's removing them for a reason. If you lost your job, and God has been clear, stop trying to get that job back. Oh, can you take me back? I'll work for $3 less. I'll get demoted down to shift leader instead of manager. Listen. In this season, nothing you do will work. You can cry. You can compromise. You can negotiate. Nothing in this season will work. God is going to back you in the corner until you stop fighting, right? Because we're human, we're natural. We're going to be fighting, swinging, like trying to DDT somebody. DDT. Y'all remember DDT? I remember it was like a wrestling move or something. You're going to be trying to fight every single thing because it's not natural. It doesn't feel natural, I should say. But there's a time that's going to come that no matter how much you fight, you're going to lose. Like, you're going to be so tired, you're just going to give up. You're going to just give up. You're going to be like, okay, what? All right. I'm sitting on this floor. I'm naked. I don't have a house. I don't have a car. I don't have a man. What do you want? Here I am, naked. Here I am. What do you want? I submit. And then he's going to be like, well, it took you long enough. Now come here, let me show you what I really got for you. Ooh, child, it's going to blow your mind. When you get up out of this storm, sis, the blessings are going to overtake you. I'm in my spirit right now because I'm thinking about myself. Those blessings are going to overtake you. Blessings are going to chase you down. And you're going to be required to go back and make a recording just like this, or a video just like this, or share your testimony at a women's shelter or wherever you're going to have to go back. Because you're going to be someone that God uses to help others not give up when these storms get like this. To help them understand that it's really not a storm sometimes. Sometimes it's just a transition. But before transition, what happened? You got to go through isolation. So all these things happen just to prepare you. Now, right before the breakthrough, again, I was saying that you don't see that it's coming. Like, you don't see, like, okay, well, it's raining a little bit now, so obviously the storm is almost over. No. But once your spirit is settled enough, God is not going to tell you. He's not going to tell you like what he's doing, because it's really none of your business. And if he do, you're going to run anyway because it's too big and you're going to feel unworthy. But he's going to start dropping nuggets to you. It's not going to make any sense. He's going to say, start doing this, start taking this course. And it's not even going to make sense. It's not going to be, well, why am I taking this course? Because this has nothing to do about what I want to do in life. Well, because it's not about you at this point. Where he's taking you is about him. So if he's telling you to take a course, then it's something where he's taking you. Right? He's going to tell you to prepare in certain areas, but it's not going to make sense because you're still thinking logical. You're thinking about the place where you came from, because you can't really see where he's taking you yet. Where he's taking you is massive, and your little beautiful mind can't grasp that yet. But obedience is crucial, all caps, crucial in this point. I'll give you an example, right? So I was living in a loft, like a condo loft type, industrial style type loft. But I'm the girl who like very antique, heavy wood, like that massive type furniture that takes like 3 and 4 people to lift it, right? I like good quality pieces. I like farm tables. I like things like that. But you know what? Those pieces, they can't fit like in no condo or no lofts or things like that. But God will keep telling me to get these pieces when I see it. I would pass by, I'd be like, oh my goodness, look at this piece, but it could never fit in my condo. And God would say, buy it. And I'm like, what? Where's it going? Where's it going? So as time went on, right, and this is over a process of time, he required me to get storage. I had no idea. I think I was getting the stuff just to go at the storage once a month to look at it. I didn't know he was going to give me a house that all this stuff fits in. So when God is requiring you to be obedient in that dry season, and you like, I'm just trying to pay my light bill, and you over here trying to tell me it's not going to make sense. Because where he is taking you, the blessings that he has for you is so grand that your little broken little mind, your broken little spirit in this season will not be able to understand. There's times I look at things now in my life, and let me backtrack because I missed something that I should have said at the beginning. Also, another reason too you hit these storms before overflow is because it's going to keep you humble. If God takes you from successful in your own right to just overflow for his glory, where do you become humble at? But when he snatches it all and he have you in your face, and then he gives you back 10 times more. Well, first of all, you're going to always remember how it feels to be on your face. So you're going to be very, very careful the way you move. Also, it's going to make you very sensitive to want to help other people. I help people all day, every day. I don't care if it may be at a red light, it may be at the corner store, it may be online. If God says do it, I do it. For one, I know he put me in overflow to be a blessing to others who he chooses. And also, think about the times that you're in right now. The times that there's days where you don't even know if you're going to eat today. You or your children may not eat because you don't even have $1. You don't have $1. So when God is giving you overflow and he's telling you to move accordingly, you're moving in alignment with him. So the same way God will use somebody right now to call your phone. You don't have a dime. You don't know how you're going to eat today. Somebody call your phone out the blue. Hey girl, I went shopping and they rung up the wrong things and they gave me some free groceries. Girl, you need some groceries? God, listen, God will show up just like that. I told you guys the other day on a recording, I went somewhere and got a sub sandwich, Jersey Mike's. And that was the first Jersey Mike's I had ever been to that just kind of like really old and dainty and rinky dinky. I can't. But I didn't want to be bougie and tell the girl, listen, I don't want that sandwich. That kind of doesn't look too, modern for me. So I paid $10 for the sandwich. I was going to throw it away. And God says, no, I was going to look for a homeless person actually and give it. So he said, you will give it to who I tell you soon. I'm like, okay, well, I'm riding around with a sandwich. I'm riding around with a sandwich in my car, like, for an hour. Like, God, I'm trying to find, like, I don't see a homeless person. I don't see a person. And I got to the gas station, and here's this young lady who's driving an Amazon truck, hot, sweaty, just tired. And I did not want to offer this girl a sandwich. We're in 2022. You can't be offering people no food. He told me to do it. I'm crazy and I'll do it. I did it, and that girl started eating that sandwich in front of me because she left her, quote unquote, left her wallet at home, and she's been working since 8. Might have been about 6 p.m. at this point. Honey, that girl demolished that sub sandwich in front of my face. Yep. Obedience is crucial. When God has put you in a season of overflow, He's going to watch you carefully. Because the overflow ain't for you, regardless of what you think. You ain't that cute. The overflow is not for you and your greedy big head family, right? It's for that, yeah. But God will require you to help other people. Play with it. Because He'll snatch it right back and throw you right on back in the season of drought. This is why when I have people coming up against me like, oh, you just helped too many people. Listen, I ain't going back to drought. Say what you want to say. If God says help him, I'm going to help him. I'm not going back to drought because you think my heart is too big. Can't do it. Now, we can have a meeting of the minds. Is it emotions, Kizzy, or is it spirit? Well, let's sit down and talk about this, right? I might need some help there. But if I hear clearly from God, I ain't going back to drought. Lord forbid. Ooh, child. Sis, honestly, I hope this helps you. But please, whatever you do, keep pressing. Keep pressing, because I promise you, it's going to blow your mind. But you got a part to play. Temptation will come more powerful than ever in this season. Everything that God actually removed, that man, that this, that, these things and these people will come back like to the third power. You got to stay obedient to what He told. He told me to remove somebody, honey. Let me tell you something, honey. Woo! You talking about it took some fasting. It took some fasting. Only God could get me through that foolishness, right? What do you call it? What do you call it? Soul tie. Only God could get me through that, right? So, but the point is, when He requires you to do it, I don't care how hard it is. If you got to crawl when you're doing it, please do what God tells you to do. Because if I'm honest, I think that there were certain times too that I don't know. Well, you Bible scripture people help me out here. I felt like God was let me rephrase that. God wasn't tempting me, but He was allowing the temptation just to see. And I like that phone will ring, and I'm about to pick that phone up. I can feel him side eyeing me. No, let me block this number right quick. Right, God didn't tell me what He got for me, and you ain't it. Right, so stop harassing my nerves, sir. But when you get to that point, when you say that first no, or you reject that first temptation, it's almost like God is like, all right, I see you, and then He keeps giving you grace to move forward, and before you know it, you beat that thing, whatever that thing is for you, that addiction, that soul tie, that this, that. If you just keep walking, God's going to see like, all right, so she's serious now, huh? And then you're going to have a grace to never, ever look back. And then you will start your due season, your season of abundance, all that stuff, overflow, and it will all make sense to you. Don't give up, sis. You got this. I believe in you. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.